Check, check, check. What's going on, guys? Do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I'm pretty sure everything is regular, but I always like to just double check and make sure. We're going to be getting started in, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes when Matt gets here. And also Master Elmo, sorry, will be joining us. But he's probably not going to jump in till maybe even a half an hour into the live chat. So we'll see how things go. I know he got caught up with some things this morning, so hopefully he can get here sooner than later. I don't expect this to be a particularly long live stream, so hopefully he'll get in soon. I can hear you loud and clear. All right, awesome, guys. All right, I'm gonna go black for a minute. When I see Matt jump in, then we'll get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Listen, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and like tweet out that we're doing this. Let everybody know so we can get as many people in here as possible. All right, thanks for being here. Talk to y'all in a minute. Ciao. Mr. Perry. I think I see you. Oh, that's it. He took off. I don't know what happened. Let's see if he can jump back in. Maybe he had some connection problems. Oh, there he is again. Ding dong. And
You see me?
I see you.
Do you hear me?
No, I don't hear you. Yeah, man, I hear you. Of course I hear
Okay. Okay, that's kind of confusing, man.
you. Freaking loud and clear. I gotta turn my volume down. Hold on.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Usually I'm turning it up because I can't hear people. What's going on, man? Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
Yeah.
Nothing's really going on, just recording some videos, like every morning.
What color are those walls? They look dark gray.
You're not gonna be able to see these walls over here.
Yeah,
So
that's what
dark
I'm
over there.
looking
Yeah.
at.
Ceiling's white.
How's your allergies going?
I mean, they're going. It's definitely difficult. I have to wake up. When I wake up at 5:30 now, I pretty much take an hour in order to get settled, and it's really bad. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, yesterday it was like I'm only supposed to take Zicam twice a day, is what it says recommended on the bottle, but I'm taking it 3 times. So yeah, I don't know if that's gonna have like a long, lasting effect or long-standing effects.
You're probably building up a tolerance. Do your allergies last like all summer long?
This is only the second year I've had allergies, honestly.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, last year I was like, oh, I must be just getting sick. And I was like, no, that can't be the case. Like it
Yeah.
was really bad for a long period of time. But
Aller- yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I think it's any like warm weather, it seems like.
Oh, all right. They're the weirdest thing, because it doesn't matter how old you are in life. All of a sudden, boom, you can develop allergies to things. When I was a kid, I never had seasonal allergies, but now I have them every other year, and this is the year that I have them. I didn't have them last year, and I only have them through like the beginning of the spring.
Mhm.
After that, like the pollen and stuff like that, after like around now, it doesn't even bother me anymore. It's so strange. That's why I was asking if yours lasted kind of forever.
Yeah, I don't think it lasts forever. It's pretty much like probably 2 seasons, I would say.
Yeah.
Fall and winter are usually good.
Yeah. All right. Well, you sound good. So obviously you got it under control this morning. I talked to Master. I've got post nasal drip, which has this cough. It's like persistent. It drives me nuts. Anyway,
I hear you.
I just took some. I don't even know what I took, but I took something, and I think I took the drowsy version. So if I stop passing out,
Well,
let me know.
well, we might both pass out because I actually didn't even sleep last night.
Really?
I had no sleep. I
So
literally was
excited
awake.
about this live stream.
I don't think that was the case.
I figured maybe that was it. Anyway, yeah, I talked to Master a little while ago.
Mhm.
He's out on safari somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. He's like out in the woods or something. He sent me a picture of him like in the woods.
Well,
So he will be here, but he said he's going to be, maybe 25 minutes into the thing. He said he'll be here. I told him, it might last 15 minutes. I don't know what to tell you about that, right? So we'll give him a chance to jump in, but we can get started chatting about some Elmo stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, I woke up and I love seeing what I saw when I woke up this morning.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was like 3 a.m. when I put out a tweet, basically saying like, what's going on here? Like I see what's happening. I see you, Elmo, but I don't understand why it was moving. Was there any like extra things like that I missed, or is that like for mistaking or what?
There is no rhyme nor reason. I mean, probably the crew knows, the developers, they probably know what's going on because they've got contact with certain whales,
Mhm.
who are actually, kind of friendly whales, if you will, who have pledged to maintain the price and keep it going. But it's kind of a
So what are they burning their supply, or are they buying?
No, I don't think they're burning their supply, but they buy in. But there are people. All right, so here's what I'm noticing. There were people that bought in from Jump. There were bots. There were all kind of things that grabbed a shitload of this stuff from Jump, right? And so some people are still holding a lot in their wallet. But then there are these good whales that are actually in contact with the developers, right? And again, they've pledged to, continually buy and to help support, the price and keep it moving up. But the line that they have to walk is if they buy too much and they add too much liquidity, right, then the people who aren't really pledged to do that, it's just providing liquidity for them to sell, you know what I mean, and to take profits.
True.
So they're on this really slow and steady thing. Now I've got one of the developers chit-chatting with me and sending a message, and he says buy and stake, which I don't know if that's a message telling me that I should tell people to buy and stake, or I think what he's telling me is that that's the combination of what's happening and what drove the price up this morning, the buying and the staking.
Okay. Because I thought that was what drove it up, initially, not what happened today, because this was a little, it seemed like it was just out of nowhere. The staking and everything with the burning that happened, I saw that push, but, you didn't see many more burns from that and many more stakes from that. So I don't know how much staking is left. Is there still a lot that's left?
Somebody had put it in the chat. There was like 1 point something million left. People buy and stake. You saw me the same thing over again. Anyway, that will move. Okay, I got you. Anyway, what were we saying about the staking? 1 point something left, but now I've got some friends who are whales. Well, let me go to hit because he's all right. So it pops up here. I've got some friends who are whales who have I've got one friend who has other friends, right? And my friend the whale is actually someone I met through one of your chats a long time ago, actually. I mean, probably over a year ago. Wow. And we've moved together through some different projects. We throw things at each other every once in a while, some tips. And so he is invested now in Elmo, and he's got a couple buddies. There's like 3 or 4 of them. And when they go in hard. So they're very interested in the staking, but a concern that he had was that he was watching the staking kind of like the ability to stake kind of go away before he was actually able to buy what he wanted to buy and then get in. So he actually talked to Master. And Master let him know that as people continue, if the staking keeps pushing, people keep wanting to stake, I guess they're going to continue to keep adding to that staking pool so that people can do it. I'm sure they can't do it forever.
Yeah, because they don't have an endless supply of tokens.
Exactly.
So I don't know exactly where that's coming from, what wallet it's coming from, but yeah, they definitely don't have an endless supply.
Right. Matt, I don't know if it's just me. I'm hearing your voice and I'm seeing your picture on my screen, but you're totally frozen.
Oh, you know what? I see it that it's frozen as well.
I don't know if that's me or you.
No, let me see if I can take. I think I opened up Streamlabs by accident. So
your video probably went there because it'll supersede it.
Well, yeah, I think so. Something like that. Hopefully that I can stop video and then start video again. Start video.
Oh, there you are. You're moving.
All right.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on right now with the staking. I don't know. Let's see. If I go over here, I don't know how. Is this updated like in real time?
They burned 6.2 million by staking. That's great.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's insane. Right. We were talking about how they didn't believe that we were going to get down to like 100 million really fast. The way that we're burning, not only from staking, but also from CEXs, and when the CEX staking burning goes through, and then the burning from DEX volume, it's going to be insane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. So you understand this stuff better than I do. And burns are like a big part of your joy in life. So, which is why I really knew that you were going to love this, this particular project. But explain to me. So, sorry, we burn it down. Like the burns are going crazy, and if we get down to, X amount of supply or whatever, that alone can't push the price up, right? I mean, I understand supply and demand and they're worth more, but will just burning alone, will that skyrocket the price?
Burning alone, no. So with certain positions, you can look at comparisons. So something like Safe Moon, right? Safe Moon had the popularity like in the beginning, a very small subset of coins or money was going into there. But what happened was the popularity started to dissipate. And when it did, you saw that burning was happening, but nothing was happening to the price. The price was actually going down. So people got really upset with the fact that it wasn't burning enough. So then they decided to do a V2 and it was just too much. And I think it's still like working or doing something, but it could have been so much more successful if it had popularity. So that's why something like a meme coin does make sense. And that's why I thought that this looked like everything that I wanted, because it's a meme coin. It can have that massive amount of popularity out of nowhere. And then you also have that burning feature to it, and not just the burning feature. And I didn't even think of it this way. The burning feature that they have with the selling is way better than having, burns on both sides. Because if you had burns on buys, then you're kind of telling people, hey, if you buy this position, we're going to take from you, but if you sell it now, they're going to take from that because they know that you gained something out of it. Right. So
Right.
It seems like it's more of a benefit, in every way.
Yeah, absolutely. This was very well thought out. And when I talked to the developer, and just so I'm not ignoring him because he's DMing me and blowing up my phone about everything that we say. Circulating supply is under 300 million right now. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Is it a month now? A month, I guess, since they launched. And they launched with they had already burned half of the supply because it was a billion. So they burned 500 million before they even launched.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why people do that, but whatever, it is what it is.
So
Maybe.
that usually you have the people that are in the beginning, so like the developers and maybe some early investors that seem to get a little bit of a benefit from burning that much right from the gate, because then you have a certain amount that you have, and now you have a higher percentage than what you had once they burn. So I don't know. It's kind of like that Shiba Inu effect.
Right, but if there wasn't a pre-launch, there wasn't anything like that, right?
Mhm.
It was kind of like a stealth launch. And so if you burn that 500 million before you even launch, nobody has any yet. Why didn't you just create 500 million? I don't get the point of creating a billion, burning half of it, and then launching.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's probably the Shiba Inu effect, right? Because they sent that 500 or half of it to Vitalik, and then he burned off a lot. It's just that thought, even though you can't really track it on this, which is, I think, way better than how every other project is built.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that Shiba Inu effect that just gives it a little bit more like oomph. Like this is a meme position, and it's going to run because it's doing like kind of the same thing that this position did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. I got it.
I mean, it doesn't always work as we see with a lot of positions, but
Yeah.
It's still there.
All right. So he says, yeah, circulating supply is currently under 300 million. So since launch in a month, they've burned off 200 million tokens. Is that what you're telling me? I mean, that's crazy.
There's 200 million tokens out of the supply. 120 million has been burned, and then 88 million, staked.
Okay.
So
All right.
the circulating supply is under it, but you still have a lot that's staked and will probably be released in 43 days. So you'll see things that go in and out of the circulating supply. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking at on the screen. There's almost 90 million staked. Right.
Yeah.
So let's call it 110 million
Mhm.
burned in a month, right? So let's say, I mean, if we keep on that trajectory, my goodness, where are we going to be in two,
Yeah.
3 months?
Yeah. And I mean, the thing that I'm focused on is seeing that volume, because if they can find a way to get all these exchanges to implement the burn, whether it's 10% or 5% or whatever, I mean, the CEX volume is where the money is flowing. You know, a lot of people like to say, "Hey, let's focus on getting this utility," and it's great to establish it. And I've said it plenty of times. It's great to establish it, but CEXs are where the money is. So, and it seems like they're trying to really have that communication with them to go, I want this tax on there, and if you don't have that tax on there, we're not going to launch on that platform. And that's what we like to hear, because you don't want to have the same thing that happened with like Terra Luna Classic, where you have all these platforms that kind of promise a tax, but don't, start with it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Um, am I reading this right? I'm looking at Uniswap and Bitmart, which are the two places that you can buy right now. And it looks like the volume on Bitmart is almost double of what we're seeing on the DEX.
Yeah, it's going to continue that way. As you add more exchanges, you're going to see so much more volume that happens on Bitmart, because it's cheaper to purchase it. You know, if you go and buy it on MetaMask, or swap it on MetaMask, or swap it on Trust Wallet, you're paying those ETH fees, and depending on what day it is, it could be $5, it could be $50.
Right. Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to point out, is the price difference. 0.0275 and 0.023, which might not seem like a big difference to you and me, but I mean, it's arbitrageable. Is that a word?
I'll take it.
Maybe. I mean, with fees and with the burn tax, I don't know how much of that is actually going on, but yeah, there is a little difference. And I think also because Bitmart, the sell on Bitmart, I mean, we're just talking volume, right? Overall volume. So
Mhm.
the sell on Bitmart is 6% tax,
Mhm.
opposed to 10% tax. Now LBank, did you hear about LBank and what's going on with LBank, as far as like why we're waiting on LBank and all that?
No, I don't know any updates on it.
Yeah. So LBank, from what, and you can correct me if I am wrong, Mr. Developer, who's in my DMs, sending me all kind of other stuff. I believe that LBank is going to support a 10% sell tax. And I guess the holdup is maybe them figuring that out. LBank will be huge as well. Yes, it will.
Yep.
Explain to me though if I'm wrong. Tell me why. I believe that it's a matter of them like programming that or writing that contract or whatever it is that they do, the technical side of it, to be able to support that 10% sell tax. I
It,
think
it
that's
might
what the holdup was.
it might be something to do with, like, just doing it on one side of the transaction rather than both sides, because if you just have, it's probably just a standard code that they add in with any other one that has a tax. I'm trying to think if any other one on there does have a tax.
Well, yeah, and I think it was LBank that I had heard this about, right? That the only way that they'd ever done tax before was a buy and a sell tax.
Mhm.
So in order to accommodate Elmo, with just the sell tax, they actually had to write that. They had to write that coding or whatever and change it around. And to me, that says an awful lot about their confidence in Elmo,
Mhm.
actually go to put their team on it and say, listen, let's change this around. For the very first time, we've never done it for anybody else, but we're going to do this for Elmo. I mean, to me, that says a lot. All right, so they developed the ability to be just sell for us. Yeah, basically what I just said.
Well, I don't know how they went about, whether it was just like, texting, or online messages, or whether they actually had a like interview or whatever it's called, a meeting or something. Because I feel like if the way that he spoke to me. One, Richie sending you $50 super chat. You might want to address that.
I know. I got like screens everywhere. You know what I mean?
It just popped up over here. I was like,
like, you know how there's a sound in the background that is always there, and like you don't even notice. Richie sends super chats so often you almost don't even notice it. After a while. Richie, thank you very much for the super chat. I mean, it's it's consistent, it's generous. You do it for me, you do it for Matt. You're just a hell of a guy, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I will read it in a second, but I'm going to let Matt finish what he was saying.
No, so I was just saying the way you have like a person to person like conversation, usually like you can tell if the person is genuine, if they're transparent. So maybe they had that conversation, over the phone, or maybe they got that from the messages that he was writing. So, or the emails. So I don't know how they're having that communication.
I'm being told that they had a meeting with ELMOerc.
Like verbally?
I'm that's how I'm taking it, is that they had a verbal meeting.
Wasn't.
I know. Listen, I know that one of the co-founders here, one of the developers, has been in this space for a long time and has ridiculous contacts. I mean, you can't really mention an exchange that they don't know people and have relationships with people in it. So that is a huge, huge benefit for Elmo. So I'm going to assume that, yes, it was a person, and I'm being told, yes, it was a personal phone call, maybe even, you know what I mean? But they had a verbal meeting with whoever was in charge to actually get that done. And it's great. All right.
I was going to say that's where that trust comes from. Definitely. Because I've been able to establish trust with a lot of people by just talking to them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's way better than than the text kind of thing. Like even when I do these interviews, like a lot of people started doing interviews, right? After I started doing them, but I'm not gonna, whatever. Anyway, but a lot of it is voice, and a lot of people when they come on, I understand the anonymity kind of thing. I get it, right? Maybe you got a job that you don't want your face out, whatever it is, right? But I always tell people, if it's just a matter of being camera shy, it's way more personal when you are looking at somebody and talking to somebody, and you can see the reaction, the inflection, and so it's the same thing, between text. If you're sending emails back and forth, you're really not getting the gist. You want to really have some sort of interpersonal connection. All right, Richie, let me get to Richie first. First off, he's been a member for 7 months. I didn't even know that I'd been doing this for 7 months, but okay, that's awesome. All right, this is what Lunk should have done. No burns, then don't list the large CEX, should pick this up and get all the volume.
See, that's difficult. That's difficult because Lunk was never meant to be a deflationary position. But we were trying to just like get into like recovery mode. We were trying to, really save it. We were trying to throw them one of those lifesavers or life preservers. I think that's what it's called. We were trying to throw Terra Luna Classic that so that we can save it and get it to a form of normalcy. But we couldn't do that. So yes, the CEXs should have implemented it, but they were, Lunic was already listed on all of them, right?
Yeah, right.
And the difference here is that Elmo is, having those communications before. So like building it into a contract, like, look, we're going to be burning. It's going to happen forever. So you either do it or you don't, and we don't list, you know what I mean? Like type of thing.
Well, let me put a little exclamation point on what the real difference is here. And I think you pointed it out in one of your videos as well. The real difference here is that you have a team that is able to steer the ship, to make these contacts, to, work deals out with these exchanges or whoever, right? With some sort of authority, and I don't want to make this about, this is not a Lunk stream, right? But but as a point of contrast, when you don't have that, you're all over the place and you have a very hard time getting anything really done. These guys, there's a team of 6, but there's 2 co-founders. They really have taken the reins and are in charge of everything. They have a lot of contacts. They have a lot of experience. This project has a lot going for it. Okay, so our developer says the development and ability to. Okay, all right. We had a meeting with them. Yes, after L Bank, we will up in the exchanges. Could be Huobi. So I guess maybe they're looking at Huobi next. Master Elmo is messaging me and telling me he will be here in 3 seconds,
3 days.
Minutes. I can count to 1, 2, 3, brother, and you ain't here yet. All right. So anyway, we'll see him in a second. Yeah, Huobi would be great. And I've been hearing a lot of people say, well, Binance is the big one. That's what we want to get is Binance.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get Binance to do that 10% or any type of tax, I mean, yeah, I'm sure they're all for burns, but for the right project, because even BNB burns, they do the quarterly burns. So CZ knows that burns have a benefit to the overall project, to an extent, for him, because they only want to burn down to like 100 million.
Yeah. If Binance listed, first off, the team is dedicated that they will not list on any exchange. I don't care who it is, if they're not going to do the tax. If they were to list on any exchange that did not support the tax, you just destroyed the whole deflationary benefit of this, because
Exactly.
Everybody will trade there, right? So they will not do it. So if Binance were to list, that means that they would have to be supporting some portion of this sell tax. And obviously, not 1%, 2%. It's going to have to be, probably at least what Bitmart is doing, like the 6% or whatever, right? It would be, to my knowledge, it would be the first time I think that they've done that, just a sell tax for somebody. No,
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because there haven't been many. I don't even know if they've done any like tax on any positions, because I'm trying to think of any positions that they could have done a transaction tax for.
Yeah, not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
it would be I think that would be the first.
Yeah.
And again, it would speak to the confidence in this particular project, but also it speaks to the connections.
I was going to say that exactly.
It's all who you know.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And fortunately, we've got a lot of networking going on here, and some people that are really tight with, like I said, a lot of these exchanges. They're not trying to send the exchanges an email and hoping they'll get back to them or tagging them on Twitter. Mm-hmm. They punch in a phone number and they get a hold of whoever they need to get a hold of. So it's a major difference, a major difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess he meant 3 minutes or 3 hours. I don't know
if this is going to go for 3 hours, but
I don't think so either. All right. I don't want to ignore everybody else in the chat, and I see that the chat is active. Listen, guys, thank you very much. There's 67 current viewers, 36 likes. So if you just got here a little while ago and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button, because it helps get a lot more people in here. I learned that from Mr. Matthew Perry.
Yes.
And let's see. So Antonio says, good morning, Antonio. Blah blah blah. Peter Sutton. Peter, I believe, is on the other side of the world. It's probably like night, like 8 o'clock at night where Peter is.
He doesn't like when you say Peter Sutton. It's just Peter. So
well, then don't put your.
He told me that like 17 times, so I had to make sure that.
Well, then take it out of your damn name if that's what's up there, right? That's what I want to read. Pete, my boy Pete. Yes,
that might be too short.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Peter. People, please remember to hit the like. Okay, all right. Thanks, Pete. Pete's also a mod, so that's awesome. Poor holder. How come you're not a? We're gonna make poor holder a admin, or a moderator rather. Managing moderator, standard moderator. When you make people moderators in your chat, do you do managing moderator or standard moderator?
No, I haven't done a managing moderator yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't trust these crazy people. All right. Poor is now. All right. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's in the chat.
Really?
God himself. Holding my 75K token till I'm 99 years old. Well, if you were the real Morgan Freeman, you're pretty damn close.
He's already 99.
Yeah, right. And Roberto, I see very often in the TG, in the Elmo TG, and he says Binance think in big. If Elmo goes 1 BC market cap, they can't burn 100 billion, 10% volume Elmo. Not sure exactly what Roberto is saying.
Yeah.
But I did hear that maybe Binance was waiting for a 50 million market cap before they would consider listing. And when Master gets here, I guess that's something that we can ask him about. And here he is, right on time. Master is joining now. Yep, I see him. So let's wait for his audio to get here, and then let's slam him with these questions.
I don't think that's how you want to say it, but you
No,
know.
that's how I want to say it.
Slam him with questions.
I'm going to slam him with questions. I've actually known Master for a little while. He's a member of another group as well. Yeah, somebody I've chatted with quite a bit. So I don't mind giving him a little bit of shit because he gives me plenty. So yeah, you have to actually unmute your microphone, Master, and then we can chat with you a little bit. I know you're not going to put your video on, which is fine. All right, I don't know. I'll let him figure it out. Anyway, so I was just going to ask you something, and I forget what I was going to ask you.
I do that all the time.
That's all right. I hear him. Master, I hear you. Now we muted again. Brother.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
You're killing me, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out this Zoom thing, man. I was clicking this unmute, mute.
Is this the first time you've done a Zoom meeting?
Nah, man, but just, this time it didn't want to work. It's a day like that,
I hear you.
I'm late.
Yeah.
I'm late, and but
what the hell are you doing out in the forest? You deer hunting? What are you doing?
no, just walking, man, refreshing my mind from all the Elmo stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, need to refresh sometimes, otherwise I wouldn't be able to continue like we're doing it right now. I need to chill sometimes as well.
And that's how you do it? Walk through the forest, fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, things like that? That's how you...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're focusing on all the negatives, Trev.
I know. No, I actually do the same thing. We've got like 3 acres, right? And it was all overgrown when we got it, but I took some machinery and I cut all kind of trails through there, and it really is like really relaxing just to take like a little nature walk every once in a while. So
exactly. You see what I mean, right?
Yeah, I'm just giving.
Sometimes have to get off the computers and the screens and just
look
at the nature.
Have you chatted with Matt like voice to voice yet?
Not yet directly, but we spoke quite a bit through Twitter.
Yeah.
All right.
We also talked quite a bit on the AMA as well.
Yeah, you were the one with the difficult questions.
I asked Matt.
That's fine, man.
I asked Matt to ease up on the questions, but he said as soon as Master gets here, we're going to slam him. Is what he said.
Yeah, bring it on.
I think that was your term that you used.
All right.
Slamming.
I know, Master. I know your time is short, and again, I don't want.
I'm fine. I can stay longer. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. All right, fine. But it's Sunday and it's beautiful out, and I don't want to be here forever. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Matt's going to ask you some things. We were just talking about Binance, and your co-conspirator there tells me that Huobi is probably the next exchange on deck, which we can talk about in a second. But did I hear this right? Binance was, or is this just a rumor? Binance was waiting for Elmo to get to a 50 million market cap before they would consider listing. Is that just a rumor?
Oh, I haven't heard of that. I mean,
okay,
that would be too easy, right? We could push it to 50 million and we'd be there. But no, I'm not focused on that yet. It's more that we are now just building up the exchanges step by step, right? We wouldn't want to, push too hard. And like with L Bank, it also actually took quite some discussion to get what we want. They actually do not support right now only cell tags, and especially for us are going to update that. Right, that's why the actual listing takes a bit longer. But they will do it, right? Just like Bitmart will be only Celtex. And if you're speaking about Binance, I mean, I have no idea, man, if they would be able to. I guess they would, because they did it with Terra Classic, right?
Maybe that's where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah. They did it there, right? They did a burn tax there. So technically it's possible. But you need them to do that. You need that burn tax. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you're just gonna go, like any other meme coin, right? We want to keep burning. That's also why we took so long with LBank, and with BKX was also part of the discussion, because BKX did offer it. LBank did only offer buy and sell tax. So I told them clearly. So if you want to list us, you simply have to have only sell tax. And that's when they said, okay, we're gonna arrange it, right? We're gonna do it. Just give us 1 or 2 weeks, and we'll get back to you, and then we're ready to list. However, to already kind of confirm that we're actually going to do it, we decided with LBank that they can already put out that news that they are going to list us, but they don't have an exact listing date yet.
Well, honestly, that's the way cryptocurrency should be, is that the exchanges should adhere to what the, coin or project wants to do, because then it takes away from everything. Like if your model is to be deflationary, they should, if they're going to list, they should list with whatever you plan to do on the DEX side. So 10%, they should be doing that. I don't know why is Bitmart not doing the 10%?
Well, they're not doing it because no, they say that they cannot support it because of legal stuff.
Okay.
And I also asked LBank, because LBank seems to have good contacts with Bitmart, if they could maybe, work together, work something out, speak with each other to support the project for both sides. And they also checked, and they confirmed that it's a legal matter. It's not just a technical matter.
Okay, so then LBank would be 6% as well?
No, LBank will be 10 for now, for the beginning.
Okay, so then is it just different place? Where is LBank in, like, a different country than Bitmart?
Well, LBank originated from Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. But right now their headquarters, from my understanding, what they told me, it's located in Dubai. So they have slightly different laws which they have to follow.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure if that's all true. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a person who's going into that kind of stuff, right? Obviously, I would want I want to kind of push them to do the 10%, but if they keep saying it's a legal matter, then what am I going to do, right? I'm not going to hire someone to tell them they must do it because it's not true, right?
Yeah. I mean, then you get into that conversation. It's like you have Bitmart that could be the more popular one to sell on because you have only a 6% fee.
Yeah. Could be. Yep.
Was that a concern at all of LBanks, that they may miss out on some volume being held to this 10%? No,
not at all. No, they said they will do it. So
good.
I mean, over a longer period of time, right, when also the bigger exchanges will eventually potentially come, they might say, yeah, we cannot do 10%, guys. We can do 3%, or we can do 4%. I mean, in such a stage at which we're not yet in, you might want to consider saying, okay, so since we are going to list on multiple larger exchanges, it makes sense to align all of those, right? To say, okay, all exchanges, you will now at this point start charging 5% instead of 10 or 6, right? Because in the longer run, exchanges like the bigger ones, they will actually rule the market, the value, the volume, the price. We're not there yet, but the more exchanges you get, the more Uniswap becomes, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but it becomes less popular of a trading zone, right? Simply because of the gas fees as well, and so on.
I honestly think that it may be the other way around in a few years. Maybe in like 5 years, we may see more of a decentralized strength rather than centralized strength, because all the things that are being built and use cases there. But right now, it seems like the money is in the CEXs, so they have all the power. And it honestly should be the other way around, like I said, to where the CEXs say, okay, we want to list this coin. What do you do, and what do we need to change within our normal system in order to accommodate that?
Yes. Yeah, and that's what LBank did with us, right? Yeah. They kind of agreed, and they're working on it.
Yeah, it's one step forward.
I get really nervous. I'll be honest, when you guys release. Okay, I know that you have an agreement with LBank. They have said this is the way it's going to be. I don't know, I guess, what kind of contracts, what kind of legal things are written out and signed, which would hold them to their word. But when we hear that, it's going to be probably a few weeks before they get this together or whatever and actually get the listing done, I get nervous when you guys say, this is what it's going to be. This is what they say they're going to do. Because very often when we hear that, as we get closer and closer, well, they had problems with this happened, that happened, and it's not going to be quite that much. It's unfortunately going to have to change in some way. Is there any possibility of that, or is there something in place that guarantees 10% is what they're going to be doing on the sale tax alone?
Yeah, it's in the contract. So yes.
There is a contract. Okay.
Yes, there is a contract saying that we allow listing on LBank and the tax will be 10% in USDT on all sales.
Was that something that happened with Bitmart? Did you have a contract and then they came back?
But
and
they
said,
didn't include that. They didn't include it in the contract for Bitmart. No.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to check with that.
No, LBank does have it. They have it clearly mentioned in the contract, right? What tax is the initial listing? Obviously, over time we can sign addendums or an annex or whatever, right? To adjust it if it's needed. Because I think in the end anyway, the most burn is happening on the DEX, like you see with staking. Mm-hmm. Right? That's utility you don't have on LBank, and you don't have that on Bitmart. And we burned 7 million almost, right, in just 2 days with that staking platform, and it also shows the power of DEX, right? Yeah. That you have basically 25% of the supply almost, staked. That's insane, right? And that's not on any exchange. That's just on their wallet.
Yeah, it could be a lot stronger if you had some sort of on ramp and off ramp on these platforms here, but you don't. On MetaMask, you can't really off ramp it. You have to send it to an exchange in order to off ramp it. Yep. And change it to fiat currency or cash.
Yeah, but that's something that might be that's something we can consider in the future. We have to remember that we're here for not even a month, right?
Yeah. True.
So creating something on off ramp would be more than just an achievement if we would be able to deliver that right now. That's something that needs time, but it is possible in the future, yes, to have your own on off ramp DEX kind of either DEX or wallet or something like that. Yes. Mm-hmm. It is possible.
Something that came up, Master, the last time you and I chatted kind of on video was the fact that you don't have to outsource all these things, like these ideas that Matt's coming up with about an on-ramp and off-ramp. The things that we've talked about with other projects too, because they're huge. These aren't things that you need to say, well, let's see if we can find somebody to do that for us. You guys have the ability to do it yourselves.
Yes, for that in a way, yes. But I mean, on off-ramp, you also need a company that guarantees the reserve for that, right? That's not that we can do that entirely on our own. You need backing from financial institutions for that, right? I mean, maybe not institutions, but let's say a bank or something like that, because you need to have if you do off-ramp, you need to be able to provide that money in real USD, right? So there is obviously third party involved there, but if it's about the actual exchange or the actual wallet or whatever, yeah, we could do partially that on our own.
Well, yeah, on ramp. Sorry to interrupt, Trav, but
I was just the actual development part of it, as far as whatever contracts need to be written, a code needs to be written. I'm saying that can all stay in house, and you can just so that's good.
Design as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say the on-ramp probably would be like the easiest part, because that's like you look at MetaMask and you use MoonPay and you could buy Ethereum and all they have to do is add, I guess, the coin to that to be able to purchase it directly. And then you'll have that. But the off-ramp is usually the issue. With a lot of these platforms, you cannot off-ramp directly from MetaMask or back into MoonPay in any way. You have to go through an exchange in order to do that. So that backside is usually the worst.
Right.
Yeah, but that's also the reason why exchanges are so powerful, right?
Hmm.
There is not enough decent places on the X where you can undo it off ramp, you know.
Hmm.
At least no big names as much. I mean, if Uniswap would do it, or whatever pancake swap, they would explode, right? It would take down the volume on CX even probably, because people will be like, oh, now I can actually have it all in my own wallet and not in somebody's wallet / exchange. And people will be able to say, okay, now I want to pay out from my, decentralized MetaMask wallet into USD. But that's not really the case yet right now.
Especially with these fees.
Yeah, exactly. And you could have low fees, but you need to have, like I'm saying, you need some backing power there to build something like that, especially money, right? And then I don't mean money in crypto, then you need actual, paper money, right, to be able to do it.
Master, so it's good to talk about all the potential things that we could do, because really the sky's the limit with this project. But there are some things that are actually already in the works.
Yep.
And so we already have staking, down, and it's very successful. We've got NFTs coming, NFT staking. Can you give me any sort of timeline of now? I know that we already talked about the release of these things being staggered to maintain the hype, right? You don't want to just dump everything on us at once. But can you give me any sort of timeline on the completion of these things that are coming up?
Well, I mean, the NFTs are ready. It's not, I mean, the visual part is done. If it's about the minting platform, probably that's also pretty much ready. I need to talk with my developer about that, but knowing him, he has everything already done, or pretty much done. But it's also a little bit about timing. You have to time it well. You can drop NFTs any moment you like, but often you see in projects they time it wrong, and they're just laying around. And our idea is to drop these NFTs somewhere around the same time as LBank listing, because then you have kind of the double hype going on, right? You have a lot of new eyes on the project, and a lot of new eyes means potential to sell out those NFTs, right? Because as NFTs, they will give us a major boost if it's about development, if it's about investment, if it's about also burning of the supply, right? We need some decent bags of Ethereum for that. And it's not about that we will sell those NFTs and we will just buy back all those Elmo and burn it. We're going to wait for a dump, we're going to buy the dump, and we're going to burn it, right? We're going to kind of control the chart with that value. And that's something very unique, I think, that as an investor, that you can actually kind of control the chart, with the reserve which you build up. A lot of projects they can't do that because they need to outsource everything. They need developers, they need designers, they need somebody doing this, somebody doing that. We don't need that, so we're going to use those funds very wisely. None of those funds are going to be paid out to us well personally. We're going to have it all in a multi-sig wallet. It's going to be all full transparent. We're going to also explain exactly what we're going to spend it on before we sell the NFTs. We're going to make a clear overview. Part of that obviously is as well some future exchanges which might require some funds, but the main goal of the revenue is to provide more liquidity, first of all. Second of all, to build up a reserve, right? So that, like you see on the chart which you have open right here, when it dumped to 0.06, now we will be able to buy that out and burn it, right? And once we buy that out and burn it, it simply means those tokens will not be coming back into the circulation anymore. So it basically means buying out whales when they sell. That's how you could say it.
Good.
So I just had a quick question about something we talked about in the AMA. Well, at this point, with everything that has burned and from staking, that we're seeing, and all the numbers that we're seeing, do you actually believe that we could see 100 million supply a lot sooner than you thought during that AMA? I know there was like, oh, we won't see that for like maybe a number of years, but the way things are burning, it looks like it could happen within a year, maybe 2 years or something.
Yeah,
You
I
feel
guess
like
it can. Yeah. Because
So-
we have some more other ideas in the pipeline which will continue the burn even in a faster phase. So
So with that thought in mind, I know I've received a number of questions on my every video that I make about like the developer wallet or the team wallets, and how like the whole tracking of as it does burn down to 100 million or 50 million, like is that going to be something that's displayed to people? Like I don't know if you saw one of my videos. I put out like a spreadsheet. I love building spreadsheets, by the way.
Oh, really? Never noticed.
So I put out like a little spreadsheet just to really go over. I believe all of the team wallets have like 2.5 million in it, right? Or something of that nature. So yeah, I just wanted to put some, I guess, some investors' minds at ease, even though it's not coming from you or anybody else, there directly. But I don't know if I could share my screen here.
I can allow you
Sure.
to share the screen. Give me 1 second. Let me figure it out. Oh, one click. Boom. You should be able to do it now.
I forget how to use. I haven't used this since. Oh wait, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me a second. I got it.
Okay.
I gotta exit out some things, but yeah.
Why? Just show us whatever you got up there.
Got a lot of stuff. It's
what are
a
you
lot
trying
of
to hide, Matthew Perry?
Well, if you want to know my passwords, then yeah, you can see that. All right, let me show you my screen really quick. We'll do this one. No, that's
by the way, Master, you don't have to mute your mic when you're not talking. Zoom.
I prefer to,
I mean, you can if you want to. If it's a pain in the neck, you don't have to, because Zoom is really good about.
No, I have a good headset. I just have this little button here. So
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I had this. I just built something simple that put like some investors, some people's minds at ease. Basically saying like if we had some sort of list saying, hey, you got the 300 million supply. This is how much supply these wallets should really hold at max to have 1%. Because if you're technically you're holding more than what you would have had, but you see as it goes down, it's like you should be holding 2 million. And obviously that gives you the opportunity to sell to get to that point and also burn as you're doing it. But finding a way to not hold more than 1% as you see all the supply, and as it drops all the way down to maybe 10 million, you don't want to hold 2.5 million while you have 10 million supply type of thing. So
that's obvious.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put people's minds at ease. It was like, yeah, that's pretty simple. If we saw something like that, maybe as it gets to 300 million, if they saw something like that, or 200 million, then it would make them feel better about knowing that they're being, all of the team is being insanely transparent, instead of staying at 2.5 million and now being at more than 1% if you had 2.5 at 200 million. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I know, I get your point, right? But I mean, by the time we get to 200 million, that, like I say, that can take some time, right? First of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think it doesn't hurt in a way that some team members might say at a certain point that they will sell a tiny piece of their bag for all the work that they have put into it. Yeah. Right. Because I think that makes sense. It's not like is that we do this, we do this for fun, obviously, right? But you have to just imagine how much work goes into this as well.
Yeah.
But over time, obviously, if the supply decreases at such a pace like it does now, yeah, then we will dilute our bags by either burning it or whatever, right?
Well, it's kind of saying like, for us, it makes us feel like really comfortable if we just say, hey, take your paycheck. Don't just hold your paycheck in there. Like, take your paycheck and do what everybody else is doing and make sure you contribute to the burns as well, because as you sell, you also contribute to the burns. But it's not something where you're selling your entire bag. You're just staying at 1%. You're diluting your position.
I mean, I speak a lot with the team, and we're not greedy. We would never sell all our bag at once.
Yeah. And I don't
like we would, for example, after a while, when we say we reach a 50 million or 100 million market cap, right? We would say, okay, one by one, not on DEX, I would say, but you go to whichever exchange we're on. If you want to put a spot trade there, right? You want to get some money out for your work, do it. People buy it from you, right? People buy it from you. We burn at the same time. and people, they just get a little bit rewarded for the work, right? But like you say, if it goes really quickly down to those numbers which you're showing, like insanely quickly, like 10 million, like you showed, yeah, then obviously we need to also manually dilute it by burning. But I don't believe it will just happen like that, right?
Well, yeah, I just mean throughout the certain like milestones or steps, like it gets to 100 million. You want to make sure you have less than 1% at that point, or 1% at that point. I know right now it's like 0.65, 0.67% or something.
Yeah, it's not 1% per person. No. I mean, when we started, it was like let me think, 0.5, and obviously because of the burns, it went up, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like this that the team is holding 30% of the supply, for example, which happens in many projects. We just hold a very tiny bit, especially looking at the fact that we are going to strengthen the liquidity pool soon as well, right? We could also not, give it them, and don't do that, and just keep this volatile chart going and then sell whenever we want to. But no, we don't do that. We exactly going to strengthen it also for our own benefit in the future, but obviously mostly for the project's benefit.
I want to take a second to just acknowledge some things going on in the chat. First off, 74 concurrent viewers and 51 likes. You guys are killing it. I really appreciate that. But with 74 viewers, I want to see 200 likes. I shoot high. Anyway,
I want to see 200 buys.
Fire King, member for 7 months. Thank you very much, brother. We've been cool for a long damn time. Since the beginning of Matthew Perry days. He's in the chat, and I appreciate you. So where is it? Nope, I highlighted the wrong one. So, somewhere in here, I know Peter said that he is determining whether or not to buy into this project. He doesn't hold an Elmo bag yet, and he's done a lot of research, and he was looking forward to listening to this live chat as his final piece of the interview that he's doing to determine whether or not he's going to buy. And I can tell you that I am not going to give you financial advice, but I do want to show you something, Peter, and then I'll let Master give his opinion too. I want to go back to this chart for a second, because I think this chart is unique in a certain way from a lot of other meme coins that I see out there. And this was from the very beginning, right? This was the start. And like common, you launch, boom, goes crazy. This was a bunch of bots and stuff. Everybody bought in. Then it traveled along this channel for a couple of days. It had a meteoric launch and made an all-time high, right? Then a lot of people took profits. There are a lot of whales involved, and this thing came way back down again. But here's what it did. It said, okay, let me figure this out. And then boom, came back up again, right? Now, this is a pattern with this particular project, right? It comes down, people take profits, it bounces back up. The community buys, the whales that are dedicated to it buy, it comes down, it comes back up, right? Then it went up, it's constantly making all-time highs. So it made this all-time high here. Ooh, I moved my line. I didn't want to move my line. That's my little purple channel that I like. It reached this all-time high, and then it started this trend where it was coming down, down, down. Then over here, it got hit with a scam, really. The guys in the developer that you're talking to, along with his co-developer.
No, this was not here. That was earlier.
Oh, that wasn't this one?
No, that was earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Was it
that was this one, right?
Yeah,
that was this one. Okay. All right. So this one over here was just a huge sell, I guess.
Yeah, this was actually a whale which kind of tried to it's kind of tried to manipulate the project and kind of destroy it, the hopes and everything, because this person sold 8 million on DEX and at the same time 8 million on a centralized exchange. Right. Well, you would only do such a thing if you want to hurt something, because if you're a smart investor, you would never sell everything at once, because you obviously know that that's not the way to make profits, right? You do small sales depending on the volume on the buy. This guy tried to really hurt, the project, but he didn't succeed, as you see, right? It goes back nicely, and
from what that's the point I'm getting at, right? And from from what I understand, this particular person is kind of a whale in another project. And so, was this malicious? I can't say that for a fact, but it kind of seems that way, right?
It might have been to a point to where he was trying to start a chain reaction so he could buy a lot more lower.
It's possible too.
Yeah, it didn't work out. It went all the way down to 0.005, and then it went up, back up within an hour or so to 0.12. It was
Exactly.
it was bought immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to look at the wick to get down to that 0.006 or 0.005 or whatever. But this is the point that I'm trying to get to, Peter, is that every time it gets knocked back, it comes back up, it comes back up, it comes back up. And this morning, we got up at least to what the all-time high was. Did we set a new all-time high this morning?
No. I believe we did. No, we didn't. I didn't look at it yet, to be honest. I am more busy with the community and with the, with the stuff on what's going on. But
I may be wrong.
I think we touched it, but I'm not sure if we actually made an all-time. But either way, whether we touched it or whether we made another all-time high, every time this thing gets knocked back, it comes back strong, 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 and it keeps moving up. Now, I've looked at a lot of other, and I'm even invested in some other meme coins, right? And some of them get knocked way back, and they have a really, really hard time recovering like this one does, right? And you see I drew my little turtle here because slow and steady, right? We're just going up, up. You like my turtle? I saw a smile, Matt. You like my turtle, right?
Yeah.
That's like some Van Gogh shit.
I don't know about that.
Is that a turtle?
What do you mean, is that a turtle?
Is that?
Oh, that's clearly a turtle.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, it keeps going up. It keeps coming back. It keeps fighting. And, the strength of the community, the willingness to continue to bring this back, the team that we already talked about, all the things that are being developed that will take this beyond meme season, which I don't even know if we're still in meme season or not. These are the reasons that I got invested. The deflationary aspect of this, which is very, very unique, which is, I believe, if I could speak for Matt, is a big reason why Matt got invested. These are the things that we see. Now, you might see something different, Peter. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but these are the reasons. And if you have questions about anything, feel free to ask them, and we will get you answers. If not in this live stream, you know that you can always get up in my chat section, and I will get those answers for you. But I see a lot of potential here.
Yeah, I mean, so do I, obviously. Like what I said earlier, in the stream before, Master Elmo joined, was about the fact that when you see a deflationary position, you want popularity, right? And where is the popularity? It's in the CEXs, and it seems like they're really trying to, get the CEXs to implement that deflationary aspect of this position. And when you do have those different CEXs that are launching and saying, hey, we're doing this burn, it's making it even more popular. And if a deflationary position has popularity, you see more burns, you see a higher price, and you see that price get affected a lot more because there's less supply as people are, buying and selling and all that other type of stuff. So it's definitely something that I saw as a huge benefit. And I was like, all right, I'm going to buy no matter where it is. And obviously, if I would have saw it at that low of 0.008 or 0.0 wherever it was, 0.004, I probably would have bought a lot, but I didn't see it there. I saw it get down to like a penny, but I didn't see it get down to that.
A lot
low.
of the stuff happens overnight for us. I'm not sure why that is, but all the good stuff happens when I'm sleeping. Master, if you could articulate a reason why Peter or anyone else who's listening who might be on the fence as to whether this is a project they want to get into, if there were a couple things that you could say, reasons why you believe that this is the meme coin that they should get into as opposed to maybe some other things that are out there, I'm going to let you do that. But then I also want to get to a little bit of a surprise, but I'll let you go with that first question first.
Right. Well, so what I think as an investor, if I look at any project, the first thing I look at, is there a team, right? Because often it happens, people create a token, it pumps and then it dumps and there's no team anymore. And what we can guarantee with this Elmo is that we will be here for a long period of time because we really want to push this thing to $1 at least over time. right? I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but I mean, $1 from now is a 40x, 30x, which is definitely possible. Another thing is that obviously we deliver our promises. We promised staking, we delivered. We promised a exchange with tax, we delivered twice. We also are very transparent. Whenever we need some marketing fees, we always say to the community, guys, I need to pull 1 Ethereum or 2 Ethereum that somebody would like to buy that gap, right? So then we can have some if we need it, marketing funds. Also, we are always reinvesting everything we get from the exchanges into the project, right? We are sharing even how much we are getting from Bitmart every single day. I'm sending a screenshot, guys, we've received this far $8,000 from Bitmart, right, for the burn. I think it's mainly transparency, which is attractive about Elmo, and especially the team being just so active and so hardworking. And next to that, we delivered also utility, right? I mean, I don't like to compare with projects, but if you look at the big meme tokens right now on Ethereum, almost none of them have actual utility. It's just a hype, and that's it. And the hype always fades, right? The hype always fades. And with Elmo, what we do is we actually provide use case and utility, and we're just here for 3.5 weeks, I believe, and we have already dropped staking. Right, we will soon drop NFTs, which also will have use case, and I will come back to that soon. It's not just NFTs. We're going to have NFT staking, and we're going to announce something soon. I think that's also what Trev was talking about. We are building, planning, at least we're writing a blueprint now for something really unique. I haven't seen it in the space, and I think that there's no project crazy enough to do it but Elmo. And that's another thing about Elmo, you know, we show our guts. We're not scared, you know, we're not scared to do something new and think, oh, it might fail or it might not. We do these things, right? And we need it to be unique, like staking was unique with the burn. NFTs will be unique because of the utility which will be connected to it. And we always want to keep building unique things, not just follow the same roadmap as every single project has, right? And that was my kind of speech about Elmo.
All right, and that's awesome, and I appreciate that. So, all right,
Cool.
let's kind of drum roll a little bit. Triangle says, Master teased in the TG that there might be an announcement in this stream. I haven't heard it yet. What is it?
Well, the announcement is that I'm here. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop it now, I guess. So that was actually what I was referring to about something unique that we are now kind of blueprinting. We're now developing, not developing yet in a way of code, but developing in mind. And it's going to be connected with NFTs initially. So it's going to be an NFT use case. So everybody who buys an NFT will be able to use this. And it will be a very unique platform where people will be able to sell their tokens directly to the burn wallet. So instead of selling on DEX or CEX, they will be able to sell their tokens to a platform which we built, which we will feed with USDT. And this platform will automatically send it to the burn wallet. And why is that great and why is that bullish? Simply because we don't burn 10% of their sales, but we burn 100% of their sales, right? So if somebody has an NFT and would like to sell a part, let's say 100K or 200K, can do that without tax. So it's also tax-free, right? Everybody benefits. The burn wallet benefits, the person who sells benefits, and the project benefits. That's what we're doing. We're going to build a so-called burn portal like SHIB did, but going to do it better.
So how is that profitable for the person that's selling it? They
don't pay tax.
Oh, okay. Well, but I'm saying you said their 100% is going to be burned. So is this just a burn portal where I'm taking my coins and then burning them off and I'm not receiving anything back?
You're going to get USDT in the same value as you would sell on Uniswap, but without paying tax. You might think you need a lot of money for that, right? And that's true, but we're going to limit it. Obviously, we're not going to allow people to sell 8 million into that portal, because that's going to be impossible. But like I'm saying, if somebody would like to sell 100K or 200K, right, we will be able to finance that portal with USDT, which we receive from the exchanges. And instead of us buying it from DEX and burning it, we will instead buy kind of your tokens and sending it automatically to the burn wallet. And why is that better? Because the amount of burn will be much higher.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand the numbers here and how. So that's something that you're either eating the cost or that's coming from previous transactions. So like if I buy or I sell on Bitmart or something, or somebody sells on Bitmart, you have the 5% that's burning off, and then what 1% is going to be going to this, or are we saying like 4% will go towards like the burn, and then I'm just trying to find the numbers so that it works out, or are you eating the cost?
Yeah, that's the point. We still have to work out the numbers.
Okay.
But it's like I'm saying, we're going to limit it to a daily amount, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that somebody can just sell it all back in one day and just pull out all the USDT, which is in the pool. Instead, we will, allow people to sell smaller amounts and to not pay tax, right? They get more out of it instead of selling on CEX or DEX, and the burn rate will go up much more, right?
Okay.
Instead of burning 10%, it will burn 100%.
Okay. All right. Sounds very interesting. I think the numbers just need to be
for sure.
This platform or this concept had been talked about to me previously, and not even necessarily related to Elmo. Just the concept, right, of being able to sell a token, burn a token, and receive something in its place of equal value, so that you're not losing your value. So, applying it to Elmo, obviously, you'd burn Elmo, you'd receive USDT of equal value. But yeah, where does the USDT, when we talked about it previously, it was coming out of pocket. The liquidity was going to have to come out of pocket, and it was going to be a lot, right? A lot of money. So where does in this scenario, using it for Elmo, where does the USDT for the liquidity come from? Does it come from the community somehow in some form of a tax, or is this coming out of someone's pocket to fund this liquidity pool?
Well, I was actually going to ask you if you want to fund it, but if you don't want to,
I was going to ask Matt.
What? I mean, see, the way my bank account is set up, I got to check it in a savings.
Well, let me, for example,
I might be the only one who caught that, Matt.
let me, for example, now check how much we've received from Bitmart so far, right? And Bitmart releases these things once a month. I'm just going to give an example. And soon on top of that will be also LBank. Let me just see.
Yeah. So what I was thinking while you're doing that, what I was thinking it was going to be like is kind of like staking, but without the stake portion, and basically saying you're going to, like, you have a certain amount that you're allocating towards, a certain amount of USDT that you're allocating towards this pool, and you're eating that cost. But then it would be like kind of like staking, and you're basically paying people to sell, but then you're burning it. So you're eating. I don't know. Yeah,
it's kind of like a DEX. You could compare it with that as well, but you're selling to the burn wallet. That's kind of the idea. And the funds that are coming in are obviously from the team, which means that those funds are mainly from exchanges, which we are getting the USDT. Because we're receiving it from Bitmart in USDT, right? Okay. And the same will be from LBank. We also will receive it in USDT. So, we could say, all right, let's just use that to buy it back entirely from the DEX and burn it. But the total amount of Elmo getting out of that by buying it from DEX would be much lower than just buying it off someone for exactly the same price they would sell on Uniswap, right? Because we would get much more Elmo, first of all, and we will take it out of the circulation, which makes the liquidity stronger at the same time. It makes it less vulnerable, let's say. Like, for example, right now we have so far, and let me see, when did we start on L? We started on Bitmart on the 17th, which is like 9 days from now, right? And we received from them so far $10,000 in USDT. So that's from taxes. So we would put that to the portal, and it's a limit. It's limited only to NFT holders. So if somebody wants to use it, it has to be an NFT holder. It's not that it's going to be for everyone, because obviously that's going to be way too costly, right? And we wanted to add some more value to the NFT, and the way we do that is by allowing them to sell with 0% tax.
You know what? That honestly, it sounds, I'm trying to like completely picture it, and the way that I'm picturing it does sound like a really complete idea, and it seems like it goes full circle, because where, people that are let's say selling on Bitmart and have that 6%, 5%, I guess that goes through in USDT that you receive, you're going to end up burning off anyways, right? So you would end up burning off that value anyways. But what you're doing is paying another investor, basically saying like, oh, you're going to sell this. Well, we will buy your Elmo because we were going to buy Elmo anyways. So we're going to buy your Elmo and then we're going to burn it off. So it's essentially doing what you were going to do, but you're going to buy it from the investors rather than buying it or from the sellers on the DEX side, rather than just buying it outright and then having those people end up selling on exchanges or other ways to sell it. So it goes full circle and it does make sense. I'm always just trying to find the gap in every situation, and I'm not finding the gap right now, which is a good sign.
So don't say more.
Oh, you better believe a spreadsheet is coming on this one.
Yeah, it's gonna come.
Probably. I'm definitely getting like all the numbers, and it seems like it lines up, but there's a gap somewhere, and I can't grasp it. It seems like it's closed, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's about the financing, which might be the hard part, right?
Mhm.
But we will have to see as well when LBank goes live, how much we're getting from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we get 20 to 30K a month from each exchange, that's like $60,000. You know, that's quite a decent amount of Elmo you have there that you can buy off people, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, it's not going to be a full, like publicly available DEX. You must hold an NFT. So it's an NFT kind of use case, right? That you kind of secure yourself that you will be able to sell without tax at a certain point for a certain amount, right? We're going to limit it, obviously, per wallet, per day, how much, you know, otherwise it's like I'm saying, one person comes, sells everything and the pool is ended up. We want to kind of spread it out evenly.
Honestly, that seems like it all works. I'm still thinking about it. It seems like it all works, because then the investors, like you said, have no tax associated with their sell, as long as they are NFT holder and you have enough liquidity there. So it really does seem like it works out. And it seems like a very, very well thought out idea. So yeah, I like it.
It seems really hard on you, you know, that it's so well thought of.
I mean, I don't know why anybody hasn't thought of it before, but
because it requires funding, and most projects they prefer to put it into their own pockets, right?
And also, no other exchanges are doing this for any project to have the tax for those. They do, but I mean, LBank, especially for us, kind of built the system, right? To be able to only have sell tax, because we could already be on LBank with 5 buy, 5 sell, but we were like, that's not really going to end up well, you know, if you're going to have buy tax on the centralized exchange, but not on the EX. You know, then everything will be kind of mixed up and people will move around their tokens everywhere to buy here and sell there. And, you know, people have to be creative, and we just wanted it to be easy. I mean, I'm still going to try to talk with Bitmart if there's any way to get it up to 10. But we are talking. We are not talking, but we're planning to go and reach out to some bigger exchanges as well, and we will have to see what they offer, because if they say that they cannot do it, and I mean, if you're talking about a name like let's say KuCoin or whatever, right? Then at a certain point you might say, okay, yeah, it's 5%, fine, you know, because the volume will be massive on there anyway, right? And then that 5% would basically go back into that pool as well, and then people would be very interested, first of all, to buy an NFT, especially if you have a lot of holdings, right? So the NFTs will also gain some more aftermarket value. And you can fill the pool and you can constantly keep burning those larger amounts. Do you get into a competition situation then, where it's like, all right, this big exchange says I'm only going to do 4%, and then Binance is like, well, I'm going to do 3%. Like, is that something where now you have
well, I don't have contact with Binance or anything yet, you know, so
yeah, I just mean like you're probably going to be like really fighting for that 10%. It's not going to be like, oh, well, they offer 5%, so we're just going to take it kind of thing, because then, you know, you have
but it depends which exchange, right? If it's something like KuCoin, I mean, obviously you have to consider because we can use that sell volume very well to just keep on burning, you know, on DEX in the way that we just mentioned, right? And if if it really goes so large that you have so many exchanges and they would actually provide you with that USDT to feed that portal, you can even eventually maybe put it public, right? Like for everyone. Maybe exchanges will feed it even for us, in a way that they know that anyway, because often exchanges, they buy from you off DEX, right? When they want to list you. It's not always that you provide them tokens, but they just buy it and then they list you, right? I think that's what Binance did with Pepe as well. They bought a massive amount off chain or on chain, and then they moved it to Binance to start trading there, basically. So for them, it's also profitable when a project like Elmo is constantly working out ways to keep burning, and especially having such a burn portal, which in my opinion shipped it incorrectly because there wasn't really a team. Well, there is a team, but in a way that is more like community. What they offered was some kind of token which lost value over time and is basically not worth much anymore.
They didn't even pay anybody.
No, exactly. They just made some token, whatever that was. I don't remember the name, but it was some kind of token they gave for it, right? But the price of that went basically down, because of that, because people just sold it when they got it, and the liquidity pool wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But if you are sustainably able to keep on feeding it with USDT, well, then it's going to work out, right? And that's something that we have to put on paper and figure out exactly how we're going to do that. We might use a part of NFT sales as well already, kind of for the reserve for that. But as well, we want to do it in a way that we are able to always add USDT to that pool for selling at zero tax, but also we want to be able to pull it out in case we see that it's not required, right? People are not using it or whatever. It's like we don't have to pay anyone to build it for us, right? So it's never a loss for us to build something. We just do it, and after that, we will see if it works out. But I'm pretty sure it works out because it's in my opinion, is a pretty damn good idea. It's just like you say, you have to figure out the finances behind it.
Well, we have what I think we should take from the whole thing, right? And yeah, there are things to still work out. What we should take from it is that this team is constantly looking at the long game, right? Innovating. I say innovating, but I know that this thing that you're describing is actually was the concept came about before probably Elmo ever did. So now it's a matter of adapting it to be able to use it for Elmo. But again, that speaks to the experience of this team and the things that they've already been a part of, the things that they've developed. So it's just one more thing, Peter, if you're still there, to factor in to your decision to be a part of this project. It is going to keep growing, and you're going to see things out of this project. You're already seeing like this deflationary thing is already potentially going to change the way maybe a lot of other meme coins do it, right? But I think that you'll see a lot of other things out of this team that kind of change the game. And this is definitely one of them, and we'll figure out the numbers or whatever, and we'll get that done. So that's awesome. But I want to speak to Matt's point, and I want to back up a second, because he was talking about a competition that you could create with these exchanges, and I'm looking at it from a slightly different bent, right? You've got LBank going above and beyond to change the way that they do things to accommodate you to do taxes just on cells, to do 10%, and they're already taking the risk of maybe not getting as much volume because they're doing the 10%. So if you have somebody like a KuCoin or Binance or whatever that comes up and says, well, we'll do it for 5%, and you say, well, there's such a huge one and they'll bring us so much volume that we've got to accommodate them, aren't you really kind of screwing the other exchange who kind of went above and beyond for you because if you allow somebody to come in with such a low percentage, you're really going to take volume away from them, and they went above and beyond for the project. So is that really something you want to do?
I mean, you have to pay them, right?
There is a difference between wanting and having to, I mean, look at the volumes, right? Just look at the volumes of all the exchanges on wherever you look at it, on CoinMarketCap or whatever, right? I mean, if such an exchange, like, for example, Binance, which just owns, I don't know, pretty much the crypto market right now, right? If it's about exchanges, their volume is insane. I mean, would you say, nah, we're not going to do it because you don't want to charge 10%, right? I mean, overall, the volume will outperform the volume of the other exchange anyway, 100%, because anything that's listed on Binance naturally should have a decent amount of volume, right? Because it's just the biggest exchange out there right now, and it probably will be for a long time. But for sure, you have to consider it before, because you might want to then say to the other ones, okay, guys, we're gonna list on a big exchange. We just need you to also align and to bring it down, right? So kind of also make it a bit more fair towards them, that they still can have the volume, and not that people are just going to move everything to, for example, KuCoin or Binance because they prefer to sell on the lower tax. We just want to align everything then, right? But yeah, you know, you have to make considerations like that, and you have to make hard decisions when such things happen, unfortunately. And it might not be suiting for everyone, but
I mean, you know, holding a KuCoin or a Binance or whatever to 10% might not be necessary, but to allow them to come in lower than everybody else who already came in, like to come in lower than 6%. I mean, is it really?
Well, but
probably,
Bitmart is actually 5%. Bitmart is 5%.
So, well, it's 5% to the burn and 1% they're given in reflections, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, essentially, there's a 6% tax. Now the distribution is different, but it's still a 6% tax.
Well, look at it this way. You're also paying a different price for those exchanges as well. So you're telling them right from the gate, like, hey, I'm willing to pay, you know, $100,000 for KuCoin and $50,000 for LBank, and then $30,000 for you know, Bitmart. So you're telling them right from the start, like, I know that you're more valuable. I'm going to pay you more money in order to get listed on there. I don't know, you know, what the numbers are like, but that's essentially what you're saying right from the start, because they know their value. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think they'll look at it that way because they're still probably receiving a paycheck, and you know, that's to list something that they feel like could be, you know, very big and beneficial for them no matter what the volume is. So I would imagine they probably would be cool with that either way. I mean, they wouldn't be like, oh, well, I'm through the moon about this, but they would probably be like, all right, well, you know, that's business.
Yeah, in the end, it's
hopefully. I don't know that,
you know,
I would be that way,
I'm not going to think about such things until they happen, you know. I mean,
yeah.
It's like, you know, we have a lot on our minds right now, so, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, these things will happen. Yeah, there will be this kind of, like you say, right, discrepancy and kind of a discussion, maybe not between exchanges, but between us being the middleman and the exchanges, right? And that kind of already happened now with Bitmart and LBank as well. You know, I wanted Bitmart obviously as well, 10%, right? But Bitmart was a decent exchange to start with, and we were like, okay, 6% is cool. But you know, if LBank, which is actually right now number 9 of the CMC listing, it's about exchanges, gives you 10, well, you know, you might want to talk with Bitmart again, right? Simply because, you know, these things should be aligned in a way. But if they cannot, well, be it. You know, if people want to go and transfer their Elmo to Bitmart to sell it there, well, yeah, they can do it, right? That's also the reason why we want to build like things like staking, so that people actually have a need to hold their tokens on DEX and not on the centralized exchange. And what you saw as well with staking, before staking, I believe Bitmart was holding 32 million in their hot wallet, and it went down on the day we released staking to like 18 million. So you see that people, they went probably to Bitmart because of the reflections, which Bitmart did actually really smart, right? It's a smart way to pull in people to put their tokens into the exchange. But once we released staking, you know, almost half of that basically moved back to DX. And that's kind of also what we want to keep doing, to, you know, give people the need to keep those tokens on DEX and not on CEX, because on CEX there will not be any staking or NFTs or anything like that, right? That's all going to be on the DEX, and we're also not going to release any staking on the CEX, because why would we do that?
Yeah. Okay.
We still want to try and build something big on the decentralized finance, so kind of part of Elmo, and that's what utility is for, not to, you know, like Elmo, like for Pepe, everything went to Binance, right? A lot, at least, went to Binance, and they kind of control the market as well now. And we want to prevent that by exactly providing the right utility on DEX. And I know for a lot of people, they don't know how to use decentralized wallet and all that stuff, you know. And for those people, is exactly you know, you have the exchanges, right? But I believe that most people that right now are in Elmo, they all bought pretty much on DX, right? I think there's not so many people that firstly bought on Bitmart. You know, I think there's a lot of experienced people which bought Elmo as well, and I think that people, they also clearly see the potential, like you say, because of the deflationary part of it. It's amazing, you know, in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's still early, guys, right? It's just that we are working on our stuff. We're doing it our way, and we're not going to look at what other tokens do. And honestly speaking, I don't look even at other meme coins so much. You know, I really don't care what they do. Like I now look at Pepe for the first time probably in 2 weeks. I really don't look at these kind of things, to be honest. I'm just busy with Elmo. But yeah, I see with Pepe, it's kind of like what happens with a lot of meme coins. They have this parabolic pump and then it goes flatline, right? And we are trying to keep providing enough hype so it doesn't do that, right? That it doesn't go flatline after a while. We want to keep it in this, like you say, breaking all-time high after all-time high, and just keep that going. And the only way to do that is to keep providing, hype first of all, but also use case, utility, good news as well. And that's what we're doing lately, you know. And I think people have to also remember that we're just out here for 3 weeks. You know, it's still very early. So yeah, I mean, I'm very satisfied. All looks great, you know.
Is it 3 weeks? I thought it was like a month, a little over a month. But
I think we launched on the 2nd of May, if I'm not mistaken. It was the beginning of May.
Auntie Char, thank you very much for becoming a member. Yeah, I thought you were a member a long time ago too, but I'm glad you joined. Appreciate it. Good to see you here. Yeah, and everybody else that's in the chat that's been hitting the likes, I really appreciate it. If you haven't done that yet, why don't you just go ahead and do it. I've got maybe 2 more questions, but if you have anything else that you wanted to ask, man, I'm going to let you go ahead.
I don't think so.
All right. All right. Go ahead. No, you sure?
I was going to say mainly just for like the long term, but I'm sure we'll get into where everything's headed. But I mean, pretty much everything that I had has been asked.
Okay. I've got a couple of questions. We have bounced off of 3 cents a couple of times. Master, why are we having such a hard time getting past that 3 cent mark?
Well, I think there's still a lot of traders in there as well that go for that 10-20% gain and then they're out, right? But like you see the floor, and I think that's what makes staking so amazing. You know, it kind of allows people to say, fuck this shit. I'm just going to look it up, and whatever happens will happen, right? Yeah. And that's the entire idea of staking. It gives people also kind of a moment to show their commitment to the project. And I think now that we have staking live, it will go past 3 cents. Maybe even maybe today. Oh, I don't know. I have to look at the price. I haven't looked.
It's been a couple of days that I thought for sure it was going to get past it. See, because here's what I see. I mean, I could be wrong. I can't tell the future, but I think it's been set up so that it's teased us a couple of times with the 3 cents, right? We got to like 2.9, I think, maybe, right? 2.9.
Yeah, 2.9.
And I'm like, here we go, 3 cents, and it bounced off, right? I'm like, right? But we've been teased by it so many times that I think now, once we bust past that 3 cent mark, I think FOMO is going to kick in like crazy, that they're going to see that this is not one of those meme coins that had a great run, but the run is over, and then people are just hanging on for the hell of it. They're in denial. They're going to see, no, this project keeps making all-time highs. And I think once we pass 3, just my prediction, I think we shoot right up, maybe all the way to 5, maybe to 7. I don't know, right?
$5.
$5? Well,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
yeah, well, you'll never hear from me again if we go to $5.
No, you'll be out. You'll be gone.
I'll be gone.
No, but it was the same. It was the same with 2 cents. It was stubborn. 1 cent as well was also very stubborn. You know, it was very hard to
Not
pass
this
it. But once we did, it just stayed there, right? And it's the same actually with 2 cents. I mean, we had that wheel dump, obviously, but now we've been above 2 cents for a good 3 days. You know, that's pretty decent, right? To be able to like you showed the charts, to be kind of able to show the pattern and kind of say, you know, this is the most bullish chart in the meme space right now, in a way that it always bounces back. It shows a lot of resistance. But yeah, I think 3 cents definitely will happen. And I don't want to make predictions, and people can later laugh at me saying, ha ha ha, but you said this and it didn't happen. But it might even happen today, you know, just saying.
Okay.
It just requires one juicy buy really to get there, you know.
Right.
But we need to keep in mind that also there is, I'm tracking wallets sometimes a little bit, and there is a couple of wallets between there which like to a little bit, you know, start a pump and then dump it, and that's what I'm saying, that there are still a lot of guys in the trading who are not in here for long term, but they just want to take 10%, 20%, and then they sell, and then there's a tiny dump again, and it goes up. Yeah. But at a certain point, like happened with Pepe, there's going to be big accounts going to jump on top of it, and then it's unstoppable, right? Then it just keeps going. And with Pepe, it went down pretty badly after that. But with Elmo, the way the tokenomics are built, it won't happen as hard in that way, right? Because simply 10% they lose in a way. And that's also why we keep building, I think, all-time highs, because of that. You know, we keep burning every single cell, every single stake, every single whatever, right? And that's why I believe the $1 is definitely a possibility. And you have to remember that we're quite in a, people call it bear market. I think I wouldn't call it bear, because in my bear market, in my opinion, is when you're going down and you see red every day. I think we're just in a very passive market right now, in between bull and bear, maybe a little bit more bear until we see BTC above 30K, I guess. But it will happen eventually, the bull market. Everybody knows that. You know, unless some kind of weird regulations are put into place, you know, mainly by the country where you guys are living in, that might, you know, cause a dip. But I'm pretty sure it will happen the end of this year, that there will be a run, and I think Elmo could be on top of that run, right?
Right. That actually leads me right into my second question, but before I get to that, I feel like I have to address this. So Char says, I need the easiest way to buy in. No conversion through Ethereum. What's the easiest way to buy in? I am not so savvy. That's how I miss out. You know, Char represents a large percentage of people who watch this channel, maybe who watch Matt's channel, and who are trying to get into crypto and get a little confused about, and this was me maybe just 2 years ago, right? So I feel for her, and I feel for a lot of people. Can you very simply tell Char and anyone else who's listening who has the same question, what is the easiest way to buy Elmo right now?
Yeah, it's hard to say, you know. I mean, depends per person. Obviously, I for example, the Uniswap app, in my opinion, is pretty simple, you know, to understand how to buy in. I think for the project, the most profitable is to buy on Uniswap, simply because that's the one that is still ruling, simply because of, you know, the most holders is still there, the highest liquidity is there. But if you really can't figure it out with the Uniswap app, I mean, Bitmart, I'm not sure if that's available in the US. I guess not. I don't know. You would have to confirm, Trav or Matt.
I have Bitmart. Yeah, I can trade on Bitmart.
Okay, so Bitmart, I guess, is the easiest way, because you can just, you know, connect your card or whatever you want to use to your account, and you just buy Elmo.
Yeah.
But I for me, honestly speaking, I think Uniswap is not much more complex, especially because we have a link. There's a link on the website where it just says buy Elmo. Yeah, exactly. And it will straight away take you to the pair, right? The only thing you need in your wallet is Ethereum, which you can nowadays also just buy on your wallet.
Yep.
Click the buy button, Trev. I want to see that.
So Char, if you go to ELMOerc.io, right, that brings you to the website. And if you just scroll down just a tiny bit, you have a buy button here. You click on that buy button and it brings you right here, right? So you hit I understand, boom. And then it's going to ask you to connect your wallet. Now, I don't know if you're using Trust Wallet or MetaMask or whatever. I personally am using MetaMask and I'm not going to connect it right now. But you hit connect wallet and you have to have Ethereum in your wallet, right? Once you have, enough Ethereum in your wallet, you can then choose the token that you want to buy. Now, if you do it this way, it's automatic because it puts it right in here for you. But you just choose how much Ethereum you want to spend on it. And when you type in a certain amount of Ethereum, it will show you how much Elmo you're getting. And then you just go through the process, right? You just keep clicking the OK and watch what it shows you. It'll show you what the fee is. It'll show you what the gas is that's going to be required. And if you don't have enough Ethereum, it will tell you that too. So you can either try to buy a lesser amount so that you've got enough of the fees, or you can add some Ethereum. It it's really, I know it's more steps than someone who really is confused by this stuff maybe wants to go through, but it might seem intimidating. It's really not. It kind of guides you through it. And Char, I can tell you, if you have any problems at all, send me a direct message and I will get on something with you and I'll help you out. We'll figure it out.
This is why I would keep saying that, the volume is in CEXs, not just because like CEXs are doing something special in any way. It's because it's easier, like here you have to understand a little bit more and you have to do that conversion, which it seems like she wants to stay away from. Right. So doing it.
Well, there is another way. We actually made a deal with Flooz Trade. And if you go to flooz.xyz, I think it is Flooz with a Z.
Spell Flooz, FLOO. Yeah.
Z.
Okay.
.xyz. There you can actually connect your wallet and just pay straight with your Apple Pay. There you go, and then search token. I'll add a request to add that to the website, and then just type Elmo here. We should be on there. I requested it at least. It's a bit easier because I don't know. Just press enter. I guess.
I did. I think I'd probably have to put in the contract address, maybe.
No, try there. You see there in the bottom swap. Maybe there. Select. Oh, there you go. Elmo. Yeah. So here, if you go to, you see the swap tool on the right. You have there buy.
Wait a minute, slow down. Big announcement. We're at 3 cents according to this.
No, yeah, it's rounding up, man.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to take it.
Right, so here you have buy. If you look at the swap tool, here you have buy. On the right.
I've got things. Wait a minute, I got to move things out of my way. I've got things that you guys can't see that are kind of in my way. Crap. Hold on. Anyway, connect a swap. Is this what you're talking about?
No. You go to the buy. You see there in the top, you have swap and buy. Yeah, exactly. Then you can connect your wallet and you can basically pay directly with Apple Pay or with your credit card.
Oh, no shit.
No shit, okay. For real.
There goes your monetization.
Try it, man. Try it. Show it.
I haven't played an ad the whole freaking time, Matt. Who cares?
Yeah, we will add this to the website. Because we can actually have this swap tool added to our website as well. So you can buy directly on our website.
Okay, awesome.
But we're actually planning on, because our website is kind of meh in a way that, it's not really very professional. It's just very simply made. We're actually planning to do an upgraded website soon.
Yeah.
I need to speak with the developer if we want to do some Web3 integrations there as well.
Okay.
Because it would be cool if you could do everything on our website, right?
Yeah.
And right now we're kind of limited. But this kind of tool we will add to the website. So you can basically come to our website and very easily buy Elmo directly with your Apple Pay. I think Google Pay is there as well. And there is, there's the regular card MoonPay stuff.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Yeah, that's good information. Appreciate that. Maybe that makes it easier for some people. Okay, Richie, thank you very much for that super chat. Is there any reason why I should not buy on Coinbase wallet?
No, you can buy on Coinbase as well. Actually, Coinbase actually has their swap tool directly has Elmo in there. I don't know how Coinbase does it, but you can buy any token there really on Ethereum straight away. It's just that buying is possible. I'm not sure if selling is possible because I think they have some kind of slippage system which allows only up to a certain value. So you can buy directly from Coinbase wallet. So means swapping Ethereum to Elmo, but you might have to sell on Uniswap. But also you can use the Coinbase wallet for that because Coinbase has an integrated browser, right? And I think they have the D app already prepared for Uniswap. If you go to the Coinbase wallet, wait, let me check on my wallet what that looks like. I also have Coinbase. I don't use it. I just have it for,
Frankie's hat says you got to be careful with Coinbase wallet.
Yep.
You have to make sure you're on the right network. I bought Pepe once accidentally on FTM, wasn't worth anything. So.
Yeah, let me just see. Let me just try to buy Elmo. I'm not gonna buy it because I'm poor, but Elmo ERC. Yeah, this is the right one. If you look at it and if you look for it in the wallet, you can verify it. Let me see. Swap on Ethereum, choose asset, Ethereum. I don't have any Ethereum here at the moment. But yeah, it's possible to buy it. I see it on Etherscan as well from time to time. I see it passing Coinbase proxy, which basically means that people buy through the Coinbase wallet. Okay. And I think Coinbase wallet is specifically designed to trade Ethereum on the Ethereum network, not so much BSC. I think it's not very good at that, but Ethereum, yes. You just have to make sure you're buying the right thing, right? So what you can do on the Coinbase wallet, and I'm going to quickly try that while we're on.
You want me to let you? You want to share your screen? You want to share your screen?
No, it's on my phone, so it's a bit hard because I'm on the PC. I'm just gonna quickly check out if that works. You just have to give me a second here, guys.
Fire King, I see your question. I'm going to ask that. I just want to give Elmo time to Master Elmo time to do what he's doing.
No, yeah. So when you're on Coinbase wallet, you can just click explore or search and then search coins. You just type Elmo and then ours should pop up with the logo Elmo ERC Elmo. And that should be the one because when I look at the chart, it looks exactly like our chart. First of all, when I click swap, let me see. It should. That's kind of the thing with Coinbase, it's a very good wallet for people that are not so much into kind of, being busy with contracts and all that stuff. But Coinbase is kind of a little bit crappy if you want to make sure you're buying the right contract and everything, like the guy said on the chat, right? You just type the name and it just shows up, but it's very hard to verify if it's the right thing. I just know that that it is possible to buy through Coinbase, yes, but just when you do, just try a small amount and then see if you actually get the right thing. And you can verify that by mainly joining our Telegram group would be the best, simply because there you can see the buys coming in, like the legit ones, right? But I mean, I can give it a try later just to confirm.
It would be nice maybe to have like a TikTok kind of video or something like that with all these various ways to buy, like kind of an instructional kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, good idea. I'm just going to try and I'm just going to try it right now.
I think we both know somebody who has created those for somebody else, and maybe they'd be willing to kind of help out a little bit. Anyway, all right. So Fire King says, real question. What's the appeal of Elmo versus, say, ETH? ETH burns every time it's spent on gas.
Yeah, but ETH also has a mint function, right?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not under their proof of stake model.
Okay. Well, I mean, ETH doesn't burn 10% on every cell. That's what I can say. And Elmo does, or 6%, let's say, on Bitmart. I guess that the gas fees in general from ETH is not fully going for burn, right? It's just a small portion of it.
Yeah.
Most of it goes to what do you call them? I forgot the name.
Yeah, I would definitely say ETH is burning a minuscule amount. And it really doesn't make a difference unless you're seeing ridiculously high volume. And that's on the DEX side, which you're not seeing a ton that's happening, or when you are seeing a ton compared to other projects. But when you look at percentage wise for CEXs versus DEXs, you're seeing, probably less than 1% at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Fire King that, what's wrong with both? I mean, you can't say anything bad about ETH. It's a very strong asset to hold. This is something that's probably going to move up in price and value a lot faster. An opportunity to maybe make money a little quicker and maybe even a little more getting in really low. These are all decisions that everybody has to make for themselves when you're investing. There's not just, first off, you should be diversified anyway. So it's not an either or, like versus this one versus that one. Have them both, have one or the other, have neither of them. It's really up to you what to put in your portfolio.
Yeah, just to confirm, $4.1 billion in CEX volume versus the $27.6 million in DEX volume. So it's a minuscule amount compared to the total CEX volume. So not burning as much. Also, Elmo is an ETH, ERC20 project. So technically it's also helping out ETH as well with those fees as it's going on as it's creating DEX volume.
Yeah. All right. Master, I had one more question if you got a minute for it. And it's, I don't really know how to word it, but
it's worded, man. Bring it on.
Yeah. My question is this, right? So you had said something earlier about you really didn't pay attention to other meme coins, what kind of they were all doing. You kind of just focused on Elmo, which is awesome. I want you focused on Elmo, right?
Yeah.
But me, Matt, some of the rest of us, we do look at these other coins and kind of pay attention to what's going on with them. I'm also in some of the Telegram rooms of some of these other projects. Mm-hmm. I can tell you unequivocally, and you must know this, there's not a project out there that says, I mean, we're okay. We're doing good. Buy us if you want to buy us. We hope to blah, 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 blah. Everybody's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They're all going to get to $1. They're all going to blow Doge and SHIB and everybody else away, right? In the TG of all of these meme coins, they're the greatest. Screw everybody else. It's all the same exact, I don't want to call it rhetoric, but it's all the same exact things that you hear in your TG, and it's all the same exact things that you hear from your team as far as why your project is so good. So I've said this before in a couple other videos. It's very, very hard for me to get through my head that a project, any project, even though I know you guys and I trust you guys and somewhere inside I believe this, it's very difficult for me to go from 0.005 to $1 with a meme coin and say that with a straight face that's absolutely going to happen, because I've never seen it happen before, right? Even though I believe it can, I've never seen it happen before. Why is this going to happen? Why should we absolutely believe that this one, above all the other ones, this is the one that's going to make it?
Well, making promises is never good, right? I mean, making promises is good if you are sure you can deliver them. But I've never said that 100% sure we're going to be $1, right? But if I just look at the trend, and if I just look at how still small we are, right? We're not big, we have just under 3,000 holders. It's still really small. If I just look at how fanatic the community is, right? If I just look at how fast we burn, I guess that's mainly why, how fast we burn, right? Then yes, I can say that the possibility is there that we will reach $1. And it's not because I want to, manipulate people's minds saying that we're going to do it, but I'm just looking at the facts, right? Looking at the system, looking at the tokenomics, looking at the team as well. Then yes, I am confident it will happen. But again, I cannot promise it, right? I don't control the crypto market. I don't control the conditions. I just control, together with the team, what we deliver. And I'm confident that this team can deliver a lot and will always be motivated, simply because we are motivated type of people, right? Like, I can give you an example. After the OTC mess up, a lot of projects would give up. The dump was so massive at that point, right? And the FUD was insane. But our team is very resilient in these kind of things. That's why I'm saying I told you I didn't look at the chart yet for Elmo today. Why? Because I don't care. To be honest, if it's 10% down or it's 10% up, I really don't care. What I look at is, what will we be able to do and what we will be able to deliver in the next month. That's what I care about, and that's what I'm mostly busy with the developer, with the team. What can we do now? What can we, what unique thing can we do? I'm not so busy with, what price are we now? Oh no, we are 10% down, or oh no, we're 10% up, or even we're 50% down. I wouldn't notice unless I look at the community or anything else. I don't look at charts so much, to be honest, because I know that in the long run, it doesn't matter what price we have now. It really doesn't matter, because I think that, like you say, the recipe is there for the $1, and I believe in it. I think you believe in it as well.
I do. I mean, I do. I just didn't think that I would be able to articulate it as well as you. I believe it because of the conversations that I've had in private with you and with your co-founder. I believe it because of what I know that you guys are capable of and what you've already kind of achieved, which, I have the benefit of knowing that because I have the benefit of a relationship with you where a lot of other people don't. And so that's why I kind of wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of verbalize that and maybe try to convince a few other people. I absolutely do believe that this thing will get to $1. I don't know when, and I can't tell people that it absolutely will. I can't promise it, just like you do. I think Matt believes it too. I think he's even done a video about the likelihood and how it can actually get there. Just because we believe that it will doesn't mean that it will. Everybody should be clear on that. But of everything that I've personally been invested in, I haven't seen anything with this kind of potential. I've seen a lot of things with potential, not with this kind of potential, because it's innovative, it's different. And I wasn't a big burn guy like Matt was. Matter of fact, we might have even kind of disagreed on some of the utility versus burn kind of stuff. But I'm looking at the format of how this is done, and I almost think it's inevitable. Like, I can't see how it doesn't get there given the right amount of time.
Stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Sit back, relax, enjoy your life, look at your wallet once a month.
Once a month?
Once a month.
I wake up in the middle of the morning. The first thing I do is look at it. Then I go pee. And then I look at it when I get back to bed. I'm constantly watching the chat, which is a horrible thing to do.
That's why I don't do it, man. That's why I don't do it. It doesn't help,
It helps me.
I've done that in the past, and it's just like, in the end, you don't have any effect on it anyway. I mean, as a project team, you do in a way have effect on it, but you need people to understand, right? This potential which you're talking about as well. And I think that the community sees that as well. I mean, staking kind of confirms it as well. I mean, 90 million staked in just a day. It's insane. Let me just check what this state is now with staking, and Yeah, so 88.9 million has been staked, right? So if you look at the circulating supply, then this is a really large amount, right? Because if you're talking about circulating supply, you have to exclude our locked developer wallet, right? You have to exclude Uniswap, and of course staking. Then it's like you said, I saw it in the chat before I joined that you said there were under 300 million circulating, and that's actually true, because of staking.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, what's the deal with CoinMarketCap and why they can't update the circulating supplies? Because it's moving too fast, or is it just like the
No,
communication isn't there?
we were waiting for the staking platform to drop so we could make an API on that.
The
Because
API,
making an API, yeah, you need to make an API so that tracks the live supply, and that's what our developers doing right now.
I'm told that API will soon be ready for CMC and CG
Yes.
to keep their updates live.
Yeah, because we could have done it before, but then we were like, soon we will drop staking. We have to change it again. So let's just wait for staking to drop, and then we will create the API, which doesn't take much time. Maybe we'll have it on Monday already. Let me just quickly check.
All right. Well, I have to get out of here. I got a crisis upstairs. So
all right.
Yeah. So I don't know how long you're going to continue, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for adding me.
Thanks a lot. Man.
Trev, thank you for adding me and adding me into the conversation. You always do such a great job hosting, so I don't really need to say much, and it's great. Honestly, I'm so surprised with the fact that you were able to just jump into this and easily get YouTube so well. So anyways, thank you both, and I'm gonna get to these children.
All right, man. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Yep. See you.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Take care, buddy.
Yeah, Master. We've been going at it for almost 2.5 hours now. So yeah, we don't want to tire everybody out. But I want to reply to one message that I see in the chat here, and if there's anything you want to add to it, you can as well. But Triangle says, so if $1 is the goal for everyone will sell at 99 cents, and it won't get to $1 after all. Ha ha ha. Right? Okay, I get that. And you could very well be right. People are definitely going to take profits on the way up, right? And if everybody if the one singular goal is $1, the team's goal is $1, everybody who's holding $1 is a thing, then yeah, it's smart at 99 or 99.5 cents to take your profits before it starts going down. But here's what I want to say. The goal is not to get to $1 and that's it. Right? That's not the goal.
Of course not. No.
The goal is to be the first meme coin to ever reach $1. But the thought is this particular project has the potential to go way beyond $1, right? So
sure.
Anyone who sells at 99 cents, they can do that if they want. And the price might dip if a lot of people take profits. But that's not.
They will burn a lot as well, man.
They're going to burn even more, right? Which
exactly
that's the thing, right? Is it keeps burning, it keeps building value as we lessen the supply. The goal is not to get to $1 and stop.
No. It's just like we did it on the web.
I don't care what it is, right? Go ahead. Oh, did I lose you? Master Elmo, I can't hear you if you're talking. I don't know. You don't seem to be muted. I don't know. I lost him for some. Hopefully he comes back in. But yeah, that's not the ultimate goal to get there and then just stop. So I hope that answers your question. I mean, you've got a valid point if that were the only goal, but that is absolutely not the only goal. What else do we have here in the chat? Master, I don't know if you can still hear me. You might need to dip out and come back in. I'm not sure what's going on, but we can't hear your audio at all.
Yeah, you hear me
Oh,
now?
there you are. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That's okay. No worries. Did you have something you wanted to add to that?
No, I mean, already now, since 3 weeks, you have people that have their targets and take profits, right? You see it in the charts. People buy and eventually they sell. Some people are happy with it 2 times. Some people are happy with a 10%. Some people aren't happy until we have $10. It really depends. And I think that from what I read in the community, they don't really have $1 as a target. They just, in general, are with us because they know that the potential is there to do much more than that. It's not also only about value in the end, you know, it's also about what you can provide. You know, for some people, crypto is really like a way to connect with people as well, right? And I believe that our community is doing great with that. We don't have much FUD going on. People are generally nice for each other, and that is for some people even much more value than just the money, you know, to be able to be part of something. But yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people will have a target, and that's with every project like that. But I don't think that everybody at $1 will sell. You know, I think that wouldn't make even sense.
Yeah, right.
I think some people, they maybe have even a target of $100. You know, some of them.
I've heard a lot of people say that their first target for taking any profits at all is $1.
Yes.
You know, that, you know, they're holding till they get to the $1, then they'll take some profits, and then they'll just let the rest ride because it has the potential to go well.
Exactly.
Well. Yeah.
I mean, in general, what I always suggest when you invest is just to, you know, invest what you can miss, and over time, when you do it 2 or 3 times, maybe try to slowly, in a respectful way, take out your initial investment so that you are never at a loss, right? And at that point, just let the rest ride, like you say, you know.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. That's
always
how I
have
do
a
it.
moon bag, they call it, right?
Exactly.
Always have a
Exactly.
moon bag.
Invest, wait for a nice little profit, take out your initial investment slowly, and then just, you know, the rest doesn't matter, right? In that way, I mean.
Yep. Playing with house money. Peter, actually, no, Char is not my blood relative aunt, but in talking to Char, she seems like everybody's auntie. She seems like so I call her Auntie Cha. She calls me nephew. It's just a thing that we kind of do. I think a lot of people started calling her Auntie Cha once I started calling her Auntie Cha, because that's just her persona, you know. She really cares about us. She cares about the community, and she looks like she could probably be at any one of my family outings. So that's just it. But no, she's actually not my aunt. Peter, I'm curious, and if you could put this in the chat real quick. Did you hear what you needed to hear today? I'm just curious about that. And everybody else, if there's anyone else in the chat who was not previously invested in Elmo, with what you heard today, let me know if you are now going to invest in Elmo, or if what you heard today, nah, you're not convinced yet. Let me know that in the chat, but I'm not going to be here much longer. I'm going to give Master Elmo an opportunity for kind of a closing statement. And then I've got to go grout some tile, which I'm sure nobody cares about, but that's what I got.
I'm also hungry as hell, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, in conclusion, my friend, thank you very much for being here. Thanks again to Matt for being here. I really appreciate you guys jumping on these lives with me. And I appreciate it for the sake of the community, because we really get a lot of good information out when we do these. So you know, my appreciation to you. But in conclusion, what would you like to say before we go?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me here, really. You know, I always like these kind of meetings because it also allows me to, you know, speak up a little bit more than just typing. Just typing is typing, and speaking is speaking, right? It's a bit different. But yeah, like I'm saying, I would never give up on this project, and I know that most of our team members, and I'm sure that none of them would just give up on Elmo, because, like you say, we keep on working on something which, you know, could be translated into like the most potential diamond you could find right now, right? And I'm not trying to sound like a salesperson. I'm just looking at the facts, and I'm really having a lot of fun doing it. Even though it costs me a lot of nerves and it costs me a lot of time and, you know, everything, I still love doing it, and I will always do so. And that's what I want to say, that, you know, I really enjoy doing it. The team also is, we are really close to each other, and we're having fun with each other a lot. We're calling a lot as well, you know, especially with my developer. The guy doesn't give me a rest, you know. But, you know, I have great conversations with him, and out of those conversations we get exactly such things as I mentioned today, like the buyback portal. You know, and that's just me and my developer just brainstorming, kind of kind of, live to each other, right? Like, hey, oh yeah, that's good, this, that, and I'm very happy to have him on the team, and I'm very happy to have everyone on the team who's with us. But I just want people to know that the developer we work with is not just your regular developer. It's really an amazing developer who knows everything, and whatever Elmo would release, it will be perfect. I mean, staking wasn't perfect in the way that, I mean, the contract is perfect, obviously, but we had some minor glitches here and there, and that's kind of like the start of everything that's going to come soon. Bigger things, more exciting things, more unique things, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Thank you to the developer from all of us, because
Yes.
we are very, very fortunate to have you as a part of this project. And if you don't, as a member of the community, if you don't know how fortunate we are, let me tell you, we are really fortunate to have this guy. So thank you very much. All right, so Peter says he is 60% sure he's going to buy into Elmo.
60% is good. That's good. That's a
absolutely.
good
I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. Pete, don't forget, if you have any questions about anything, just put it in the comment section or whatever, and I'll always try to get answers for you and everybody. That goes for everybody in the chat. 73 concurrent viewers right now, 71 likes. You guys are awesome. I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the support. I obviously don't do as many videos as a lot of other people right now. You all know that I have another job that keeps me very, very busy. So when I do jump on, the amount of people that jump in and say, hey, Trev's on, let's go check him out. It's heartwarming. It really is. I appreciate it. So I hope that everybody heard everything they needed to hear today about Elmo. I think that's it. I'm going to go grunt my tile. So I will talk to everybody. Have a great weekend here in the States. I don't know if everywhere. I think here in the States, it's a long weekend. It's a holiday weekend. So be safe out there.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah. So I have Monday off this week, which is really good. But
Hope the weather is good for you as well.
The weather's beautiful right now. It's absolutely
that's great.
Beautiful. But there's even when you have these days off, there's always so much to do.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go get that done. It just gives me an opportunity to get other work done. All right. So thanks everybody again for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. There's actually 71 concurrent viewers and 74 likes. So I got more likes than I have viewers right now. If you haven't hit the like button yet, hit it on the way out. I will talk to everybody soon. Bless you all. Thank you. Master Elmo. I'll talk to you.
Thanks a lot, Rev. Appreciate it very much.
Everybody, have a good one. Ciao.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.